Alright, welcome back. And we have done a little bit of work around here. I didn't get the place completely explored. But we did manage to find uranium, which we are mining. We actually have one there. We have one there. We have another one over here, and I believe, yeah, another one over there. I have not found carbon yet. We also set up a second bank of solar panels over here. I actually have them on a blueprint now, so I can just drop it whenever. It also has this energy storage, which I should probably upgrade both of those. And we put in some more smelters that are upgraded to the max for uranium. Since we have so much of it coming in, I also set up a second server whatever guy for going and getting uranium asteroids. Apparently nothing, he doesn't hit the mines or something, and because he's like flying right through them and not even activating them, so I guess he's fine doing that. And also set up a second one of these, which for some reason is not getting, oh, I never linked either of them to it. So we have this one set up, which is bringing in gold and taking out the inhibitors or initiators. Yeah, initiators. And then we have this one bringing in super alloy from over at the from over here. So we set up another one of these. It's bringing in super alloy from over here. But I stopped doing the stream because I was looking through the objectives here, which I'm trying to get to a place that I'm not going to be irradiated, so I'm not wasting my shielding. We need 25 of these initiators and 50 antimatter, which we make one antimatter per initiator from what I've seen. And this is what I was just good. It looks like it might just go right between. But this is what I was basically going to talk about. We also need nuclear waste, not a big deal. We need another 10 for this, which we can get done. But there's this force field technology, and we have what we need for this. So we're going to go ahead and do this. That needs 25 supercomputers, which we have. So drop these off in here. And then it needs 100 of those. That'll get that done. Now,
you have now unlocked force field generators, which can be used to protect your stations from all forms of damage, including firestorms and electrical storms.
that's what I was hoping. So, let's look at defense, force field. We need shield generators because, you know, kind of obvious. So let's grab those. Now, let's get one of these, and we're gonna need one there. Yeah, I was worried this was gonna be... It's not too terrible. It's a little expensive on the power, but it's not terrible. So the problem is we're going to need multiple of these, but the main thing is if we can keep the solar panel area powering. I said solar panels, so I went to make solar panels. If we can keep that area, you're not supposed to be in the... Oh. Apparently they are. Okay, well, they can sit there and take care of that. Now, I will have to adjust these enough to get everything back online. Let's see if this is going to be... Hey, another cycler token. Good. Is that enough power? No. That thing takes a ton of power. Okay, turn you off a moment. Are you still taking power? You're not now. But it still says we're low on power. Even though technically I don't think that's taking power. Trying to eke out. There we go. So now that should... These guys should get those more aligned. And there is up here... this here is the antimatter generator. This is what we're probably going to be making our power for over here, other than solar panels. But I'm going to go ahead and put in another set of solar panels. We're actually out of gold. It's not a problem. We have gold coming in. I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't think we need that one. I think that's more than enough that we have currently. I don't even think we need that many. Like, I think I'm going to get rid of this one too. I think that'll be fine. So, can we turn this on now? It's close. Not quite, but we're close. Maybe if we get those solar panels all aligned, maybe it'll be able to do it. Quite concerned with why, like, do these guys stop at, why does that say efficiency 39? Thought this place was really good for solar panels. I haven't actually looked at that to see what it says on any of the other ones. Let's actually go look at that. Yeah, these are 95% efficient here. Ain't that relatively close to what this one is? Sunlight power. Yeah, that looks like they're almost identical, where that one's really low, that one's super low, that one's actually the same, and that one's the same. So why in the world do these guys say they're only at 39% efficiency when the other ones are at 95? I have no idea. But we're going to need more of them if we're going to try to run this thing. So, do we make the arrays longer? Can also probably get rid of at least these two. Cannot afford. Amount of frames, oh my goodness. What will I ever do for frames? We have tons of those. It's not a problem. It's titanium. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing turned on. That. And we need some more gold. Holy crap, we're actually out of gold in there. Alright, well, that's not a major problem. That just means we need to upgrade these and maybe make some more. Okay, you're the wrong direction. You're just gonna annoy me. Okay, so that should get us more gold. We should have plenty of gold. We actually don't have any in the freighter right now, but I think that's because, yeah, we have that link back to here. We're gonna stop sending gold out since we need so much of it now. Also, ice miner, carbon, titanium, gold. Okay, you're not bringing in very much. I'm assuming you are still a Mark 1. Yep, you are still a Mark 1 miner. And you also don't have a power tap and still using solar panels. So let's go. We're just going to jump back to, well, can't jump back to 1 that way. Because we're here, we'd have to go somewhere else and then come back. Let's go get some nanoplating and let's go upgrade that. Freighters was destroyed. Really? I didn't know that was possible. It was the gold one. Huh. I didn't know those guys would actually attack the freighters. Apparently they will. Alright, so upgrade that to Mark II. Power. Great. I need more. I need some composite. There. I'll drop it off myself. Let's make a new freighter. And send it to Gold Miner 1 to Gold Drop Off. Oh, and I want to upgrade you, so I need some engines. Well, that's not a problem. We have tons of those. Alright, and I need to make a power link. What was I out of? Composite. That's what it was. Okay. Upgrade you to Mark II, and I can upgrade you to a Mark III. Yet, if we decide we need to. But let's get a power link out here. Hook that back to the main. And then let's get rid of this. And that. I need more reinforced frames. And we'll give you a missile launcher. I can upgrade you to a Mark III. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. You're actually my first Mark III. Which will help bring in bunches of gold. Check on it. Stop doing that. I wanted to go the other way. Keep trying to send them the wrong direction. Okay. It's only got one meteor left. The rest got blown up coming through there. So that should help keep this place defended, and that should get us more gold coming in so we can make more of those initiators. Which, how are we doing on those? Oh, hey, we've got 100 of them. All right, well, we can go ahead and do 10 of them for this. Let's get these put in the hub and irradiate, you know, the shit out of everything. So get that done.
You have now unlocked the containment chamber. As long as it is powered, this device can be used to safely store antimatter and radioactive elements without losing containment or damaging nearby machines.
Okay. So the fact that it says it needs power is what I'm worried about. Also, explodes if power is lost. How do we turn this in if we've got to put 50 of them? Yeah, we need to put them in the hub. I'm worried about doing this, but we've got 100, so we should be able to do this. We need 25 of them for me. So now let's send that into there and get that going. Throw that in there. We need more power. We should probably turn that off. Stop it. Just stop it a minute. We've made 3. We need more power first. Okay. Just take this. Still not enough power. All right, hold on. Looks like there's enough fuel to keep us going at the moment. And where is my solar array? I don't know that this is going to be the best way to do this, but we can always try it. Hey, they didn't align these. See, I seriously think that really has to be within their range for them to do anything. I don't think they do shit if it's not within their range. They'll go look for asteroids all over the map. But as far as repairing and aligning and that shit, I don't think it does that unless it's in that little circle. Now they say they're 30%. I have no idea why. We are eating up that gold faster than it can make it. Alright, let's see if we can put out some more solar panels over here. Oh, we need hull plating now. Oh, we've got plenty of that. Oh, we have those in there. No wonder I'm getting irradiated. What did that say I couldn't afford? I got tons of them. $83 of 90 frames. Didn't I just move a whole stack of them over there? Am I losing my mind? I moved them the wrong direction. Of course I did. I keep doing that. Let's see. Put you there. You can then go start aligning those. And I can put that there. You can start aligning them as well. Because you should be able to align all of these. Okay, now these say 50%. It seems like the efficiency goes down by the more of them you build. Because we just looked at them and they were at like 95. That's kind of weird. Now, I'm assuming that this is not going to be enough to do that. But it should at least help. Alright, let's see what you can do. Seems like we can handle that. Okay. Well, get to it. It's running us right at the limit of what we can handle. But we are now making antimatter. And apparently if we made this bigger, we could make even more. And apparently we can put the efficiency things in this as well. Which would make it go even faster. So I'm gonna let this sit here and run and get us the 50 we need. And let me get away from that for a second. If I change this over, this needs 100 nuclear waste. We're gonna get 50 from this because we get one from each. I'm gonna look and see if I can get this stuff for this antimatter reactor put together in my inventory. So when we get this done, we can try making one. But we're gonna make them over on the over in the junkyard. I may end up putting one here too, but we want it to power the junkyard. So, see you in just a minute. All right, it looks like it is time to try this. So let's link this up to the hub. And let's see if it blows everything up. We do have a meteor strike coming in, which luckily it's coming on this side, so it's fine. I need to get away from that hub. Alright, so there is our 50. So done. Antimatter reactor, and I did not get the thing done
You
for
now have access to the antimatter reactor, which can
building
consume
this.
antimatter to produce vast quantities of energy. This process does produce a large amount of nuclear waste, however, which you will need to remove and process to prevent radioactive buildups.
Yeah, you say process. Process how? You haven't taught us that yet. Nuclear waste processing. We need 100 nuclear waste to do this, which we're sending it in there. But I need to look at just where is the... There it is, plus. Alright, so let's get the stuff for this because I completely just sat there and watched the damn thing run and did not grab what we needed. But that's not a problem. We should have most everything pretty well available. The only thing that's going to be close to being a problem is the superconductors, but we know we have those on other places, so that won't be an issue, and I'm pretty sure this will be done pretty quick. Probably like by the time I get back over there, it'll be done. We have more than enough of those. And yeah, there's our supercomputers, so that should be all we need of that. So let's go ahead and see about building this thing. Alright, So now we just need to give it antimatter, and it apparently needs 1 a minute. All right. Well, that means we're gonna go back to 1, and we're gonna link this up to here for right now. Except we're going to filter, select all of those, disable, send everything back. And now this one, we're going to tell it we want antimatter. So now it can put antimatter in there. So let's wait for that to come back. Which this needs to stop going to there for the moment. And we need to send that into here, so any antimatter it gets, it sends into there for right now. Is it sending them? That's the output. Why did I set this on this one? I need it on the input. Crap. Hold on. That off. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. I just need to change that to the waste. Okay, so we got to go back to the junkyard. And we gotta set this one here. There we go. So now we're getting our antimatter over here. So now we need to link that up to there. So now we should be getting our antimatter in there. And it looks like we had an issue out there at our miners, so I'll have to go check on that in a second. But I want to see this start running. So now we can turn that on. Yeah, look at the power it's making. That is a ton. The problem is that all that power is going to go to waste if it isn't used. And I'm assuming that this was a firestorm that did this. So let's see. Oh, we need more plating. Just gonna run through them and piss them all off until they are just all dead. Alright, so now we need to link that. Hey. Out of here. We need to link that back. That was already linked back to there. No? No. There. Now we link that back to there. So now that'll start getting our nuclear waste in here. And we need to run this. Well, apparently that stuff doesn't hurt me, or at least not that bad. All right, so processing, get that done. There. And this is going to make nitronic acid. So we got to figure out what to do with that.
You have now unlocked the ability to process nuclear waste byproducts into usable items and materials.
So that's a containment chamber, which I don't know that we need, at least at the moment. So where do we make this at? Where do we process this at? Codex. Where is there? So that's making it. So we need actually the depleted uranium, this. Produced at a refinery. I need more nanocarbon. So nitrox and oxygen makes the other stuff, but this is what we need. So then we put that into there. We put that into there. And then we grab this out of here. And we stick that into there. We upgrade this. Oh, it needs the nitrotic acid. I was not looking at that correctly. All right, let's get this thing out of here and shove it into here, which apparently we are out of making, which is not good. Because if we aren't making any more of them, this thing's going to end up running out of power. So we're going to have to get... Where's all the... Get that in there. Okay. What's in here? There's still uranium ore in there. Okay. So now that takes care of all that. So now we're going to have to set up another refinery over here. Apparently we have something damaged over here we'll have to figure out. But now if we make another refinery here, we don't have any nitrox at the moment. But we have this make the nitrotic acid, which is going to need some of that. And we need to set it to, what is that, pure water? So we're going to need to connect this up over there. So do this, and then we're going to have to go, and I don't know if it's going to work. Can I do, can't do it there. I can put it here. If I put that there. Okay, apparently that will work that way. And then that is blocked getting into there because it's too high. But we should be able to go here. Okay. How in the hell did a energy storage get? I have no idea. Anyways, if we're out of nitrox, and we're gonna need that for this. Yeah, yep, that's what I was afraid of. It ran out of power and now it's offline. So let's get this upgraded. Why is it full? Where is its did it get destroyed and I didn't know about it? It's possible. So now this needs to go from bioextractor back to there. I may need to get a ship over here to follow that. We'll see. Creature swarm incoming. Interesting. It's incoming right here. Well, bring it on. We've got missile launchers. I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is the fact that we have no power over here, which is not good. So we need to did we lose power and a firestorm come in at the same time? Turn that off. There's no antimatter in there. Is there any ready over here? Yes, give me that. Okay, how big is defense? Okay, so that's not going to keep that. So we need to put one right here to keep that powered. Or to keep that taken care of. Now, the ones out here shouldn't be damaged. Yeah, these aren't damaged. They just don't have power due to the fact that the power link is damaged. So there it is. Okay, that'll take care of that. And I'm just wondering if I want to get rid of this one. I don't know that I need it there. And we actually should be able to get rid of most of these solar panels out here, because if this thing runs out of antimatter, everything's just going to be offline. That's just what's kind of going to happen. Alright, so I'll let them get that fixed up. I'm not sure why. Oh, I'm getting the radiation because of that. You say, why am I getting radiation? Alright, so we're making more of those, which is good. Those are back producing. So now let's go back over here. Now, did we get our stuff? Yes. So now we need that to go into here. And we're going to put it in probably to 1. Let's get this out of here. And we'll make a new one of those and put it like here. So now we can run this over, and we need it to go into this one, but we're gonna need more of these because that's too long. Okay, so now that should be going through in here. So now we got to figure out how we're getting this out of here. It is coming out of 1 right here. So now we got to figure out how we're getting this from here past this. So let's take this out for the moment. We'll put in one of the high rises here with this on top. Hopefully that'll go up drastically enough. That's blocked. Is that blocked? No. Okay. So now, can I put one of these here? Connect that there. Okay. So now, I need to get that over to here. I want to see if I can run it through here. And I don't think I can. Holy shit, maybe I can. I might have left just enough room. Alright, so if we do a couple of these like that. And then we can bring this back down. Yeah, that's a problem. Connect that. Can we get all the way to here? Maybe if I get more nanotubes. Hey, that makes it all the way there. Alright, so then that. And of course, you're going to tell me it's blocked, but it's actually not. You just need a hub to go to first. And then into there. So now we're getting the nitronic acid, and that's making our depleted uranium. So it'll get that damn nuclear waste done, and this is just going to be, you know, radioactive over here forever. I maybe should move that somewhere else, but it's fine where it's at. So that gets us everything in this mission except for mission 10, and that's going to need more antimatter. Great. And Crusader Victor. Okay.
If we are to survive in this system, it's imperative that the robot facility our forces discovered in orbit around Cerberus is neutralized. However, this complex is heavily guarded by hostile robot patrols, left over from an ancient war. It's time to take the gloves off, Station Commander, and perform a surgical strike with a task force of powerful military capital ships. We think the following ships will be sufficient to get the job done.
Okay. And that's these. They need railgun ammo, light missiles, and a whole lot of other stuff. Alright. So we'll work on that in the next one. This has been a long episode getting this done. And we also need to give it antimatter, which we clearly are not making enough of. Well, there's actually 10 in there. And there's 45 in here. Alright, maybe we are making enough of it. And these guys can't repair everything out here. So I'm going to have to sit and repair all of this stuff. So I'm going to work on that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed, and take it easy.